YouTube, what's up? It has been so long since I last uploaded a video, and that is because my team and I produced a whole feature film. Okay, and the title of this film is Leo, and this production, I have to say, overall, was a great production. Okay. Now, I don't want to be like some of the other filmmakers that I've seen on YouTube that'll just give you the glitter and the good and the happy moments about the particular production that they had. I also want to give you the salt. I want to give you the bad. I want to give you the times where the production went left instead of going right. Okay, I want to tell you about the ups and the downs. I want to cover everything and keep it 1,000 with you. Okay, because I would hate to go into something that I really don't know nothing about and expect it all to be good and then get into it, deep into it, and then realize that it being all good is far from true. Okay? So with Leo, I would say overall the experience was amazing. Okay? I would say that because just as an independent filmmaker, it's a huge accomplishment to complete a film. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, ask any other independent filmmaker out there and they will tell you. The process from writing a screenplay to going into production to completing a film is huge, okay? Especially on an independent level, because there's so many different things that can go wrong. We don't have the multi-million-dollar budgets that a lot of the blockbuster films have. We don't have a lot of the resources that a lot of the blockbuster films have. We are working with whatever we have, okay? Essentially, that's what it is. And this is why I tell filmmakers from the very beginning, as you're writing your screenplay, don't write a script that is going to require you to have a multi-million-dollar budget if you don't have access to a multi-million-dollar budget. Okay? Don't put in a whole bunch of car explosions and a whole bunch of high-speed car chases that's going to involve police and shutting down streets and shutting down towns. And when you don't have the ability to do that, you're only going to, I guess, overwhelm yourself and, I guess, really take the chances of you actually producing that film and making them very low. Okay? Now, as far as budgets, there's so many different ways that you can go and you can raise a budget for a film. You know, some people crowdfund, some people go to family members, some people find friends with very deep pockets, some people go to investors. But for this particular film, for Leo, what we did, what I started by doing was I wrote the script and then I presented it to 6 other filmmakers that I know are passionate about filmmaking, just as passionate as I am about filmmaking. So I emailed them the script. I said, here it is, take it or leave it. I am going on this journey to produce this film. Let me know if you want to be involved. Boom. They read the script. And each and every one of them was like, this project is dope. I want to be involved. Tell me how. So what we did was each one of us came to the project with a certain amount of money. Okay. That's right. We all pitched in and came to the project with a certain amount of money. And that was our film budget for this particular project. Okay. And that budget paid for actors. That budget paid for locations. It paid for crafty. It paid for traveling. It paid for so many different things. We had to fly actors out from LA. We had to fly actors out from New York. We had to drive actors in from Chicago, Muskegon, Lansing, so many different places required traveling from actors. And then we also had to pay for stay. We had to pay for hotels. And there's various different means of traveling that we had to pay for as well. Like one actor required first class flight. Okay, so you might run into a little bit of that. like I said, there's so many different ways that you can raise the funding for that, though. So don't get caught up on the funding. I know a lot of people get caught up on the funding. Just make sure it's funding that you think that you could obtain, or that you think is even possible obtaining for your particular project. Okay, so don't go way outside your means when you're writing that screenplay. Okay, because you're only going to feel overwhelmed and you're going to feel defeated once you realize that there's no possible way that you can go into production for the screenplay that you wrote. All right. Now for Leo, when dealing with actors, well, I'm just going to tell you what my experience was. For this particular project, I did drop the ball certain places. I got excited. I had everything together. We got a camera crew together. We got our producing team together. Got our actors. Our key actors were lined up. Everything was going great, and cameras started rolling, and everything went great. But towards the end of the production of Leo, I realized that I skipped some steps along the way, especially with actors. When dealing with your actors, you're gonna want them to sign whatever agreement, whatever contracts you have for that particular production up front. So if you're agreeing to pay your actors, if you're making certain promises to your actors, put that in writing and have them sign those documents up front. Make sure those documents are signed and delivered back to you before cameras even start rolling. Trust me, you'll save yourself a ton of headaches, and you'll save yourself the potential of being sued. Okay, I say that because I did get some lawsuit threats on this particular production. Yes, that's right. I did get some lawsuit threats on this particular production. Now, since I received the threats, me and this particular actor/actress were able to work things out, but I just don't want you guys to have to go down that road, because it's not a fun road to go down. Lawyers are threatening to get involved, and then with actors is one thing. Like I said, make sure you got all of those documents signed and delivered back to you before cameras are rolling. Save yourself the headache. Okay, it doesn't matter how big, how small your production is, especially if you're making certain promises. If you are paying actors or if you're promising credits, make sure you get that in writing, and make sure everybody has a clear understanding of what payment is going to be and what those promises are going to be, and it is signed and delivered before you start rolling cameras. Save yourself the headache. Trust me on that. Pre-production for Leo this time around was pretty convenient. We were in the height of COVID, so we had to do a lot of things via Zoom. So we met with Omar Gooding on Zoom. We met with Mark John Jeffries on Zoom. We met with actors like Martin Davis on Zoom. And it was pretty convenient because a lot of these actors were out of state. Like Omar was in LA, and I think Mark was in New York. And it just worked out for everybody. We even did our initial table read on Zoom. Now that was a little hectic because there was over about 30 actors on one Zoom call, but we made it work. It was long, but we made it work. And it was nice to see how actors delivered the lines, and also see their facial expressions while they delivered the lines. It was just nice. It was nice to see that on video on Zoom, and know that everybody was staying safe during the height of COVID, when nobody really knew what was going on. I remember during that time, people were saying that you could catch COVID by someone sneezing on you or cough droplets hitting you or something. So no one knew what was going on. It was up in the air, so everyone felt safe that way. And it was just convenient. Nobody had to leave their home. And we were all just able to build together, on Zoom. So tap into Zoom. It's a great program to use, especially for video production and other projects that you might have going on. I want to say, let's see, we talked about actors. I think we talked about money. We covered pre-production. Um, One hard lesson that I had to learn during the production of Leo was that if you are someone who is like the head of the production, or you're seen as the head of the production, you have to stick to your word. Okay. And this is why I was going in when I said, when you make promises, make sure you have those things in writing, make sure it's signed and delivered, because I had an issue on Leo with one of the actresses, because earlier during the beginning of production, I was excited, everybody was excited, we were getting things rolling. We had a discussion, and I forgot that I had promised her certain credits. So when it circled back around and she asked me for those credits, after talking to people on the production crew, they didn't believe that she deserved those credits as an actress. There was a conflict, right? So I was not able to stand by my word. So my advice to you guys would be, do not promise anything that you're not able to stand by, okay? I didn't want to rock the boat with my production crew, and I didn't want to rock the boat with the actress, but no matter what, I rocked the boat with somebody, and there was a conflict. So if it's something that you definitely cannot stand by, or you don't think you can stand by it, then don't promise it at all, okay? Work out other things, maybe look into some other things that you may be able to promise, along with paying your actors/actresses. But to stay away from that altogether, have everything laid out in the beginning. Like I said, put everything in writing. Put how much money the actress or actor is going to be paid in writing, and put whatever credit you plan on giving them in writing. Put whatever promises you have in your mind that you want to promise them in writing, and have that signed and delivered to you. And that would avoid all of that. Okay? That will avoid lawsuit threats, potential lawsuits, and everything. All right? Also with Leo, some of the local news channels covered stories about the production of Leo. They even came to set, and they ran a couple stories. Now, one of the stories caught the eye and the attention of a lot of people, and that story ended up being hurtful to a particular family. I don't want to bring up old things, but I have to give you guys the real, and I have to be 1,000 with you. So initially, I said that I was inspired by the life of somebody that I grew up with, or someone that grew up in the neighborhood that I grew up in. Okay? Now, the news took that and they spun it, and they said that this story, Leo, is based off of this particular person's life. Okay? This is why this is problematic. This person was actually murdered. The case was never solved. So the family seeing this on the news it kind of took them for a ride that they really didn't want to go on. Okay, and I understand that completely. So I had a lot of people calling me, threatening me, and I had to do a lot of cleanup. I had to call and I had to apologize to these poor people that had to see or revisit this story about their loved one on the news that hit nationally, without any type of notice. You know what I mean? So if you know that you're writing a story, or if you're going to say that a story is based off of somebody's life, or if it has to do with another person, make sure you call the family, give them a heads up, or just ask for permission. And also grill the news reporter that is interviewing you. Make sure you know what spin they're going to put on the story. Okay? Make sure you know which way they're going to take the story, because you don't want to get caught on the road trip that I got caught on. Okay? Again, there were more potential lawsuits there that I got threatened with. So I'm just throwing all this at you guys so that you know, if you decide to go into your own production, these are things that you need to look out for, okay? especially since we are smaller independent filmmakers. You know, we don't want to get caught in issues like that. Um, you're just getting started. You're just getting your name out there. You don't want your name already to be dragged through the dirt. B, you don't want to make a whole bunch of enemies. Um, you know, we don't have a lot of resources to begin with, so don't do things that are going to cut your resources off right in the beginning. Don't burn a whole bunch of bridges. That's just my advice to you guys. Now, I do plan on diving more in depth into other things that happen with Leo, but for now, I'm going to leave the link below for the trailer. Check out the trailer, like, comment, subscribe. I'll also post the film poster in this particular video, so check that out as well. And just to stay updated, stay plugged into this channel because I will be making an announcement on where Leo is going to end up. Right now, you know, we've had a premiere at, one of the theaters here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We've had a couple showings. We have another showing actually coming up this Saturday at 8 p.m. at the Wealthy Street Theater. If you guys are in the Grand Rapids, Michigan area, make sure you go to that, check that out. This is definitely a film that you don't want to miss. All right. So thank you guys for subscribing to this channel. Thank you for liking my videos. Thank you for commenting. It all helps me on my journey. Thank you. Until next time. Peace.